A bewildering lack of compassion. The coroner's scathing criticism of cot company Bednest after the death of a baby in Sussex.
I've tried to grieve. I felt like I haven't been able to do that because we've been trying to defend our family from the attack.
Fears the rail strike will lead to operations being cancelled. An NHS chief executive speaks exclusively to us about his concerns.
We need to be reassured that there'll be enough transport laid on so that our staff can get to work safely.
Also in tonight's programme, he's not a changing man. 30 years after Red Wedge, Paul Weller leads a new generation of left-wing activists on stage in a...
Good evening. A couple from Sussex have expressed their shock and deep hurt that the manufacturer of a cot in which their baby daughter died attempted to blame the child's toddler sister for her death. Grace Roseman from Haywards Heath was just 7 weeks old when her head became trapped on the bar of a Bednest cot.
A coroner today accused the company of a lack of compassion after ruling that Grace died from asphyxia. She criticised Bednest for implicating the toddler in the death and said that there was no evidence to support that accusation. The family's solicitor is urging the firm to apologise. Sarah Smith sent this report from the inquest.
It's 18 months since the Rosemans lost their 7-week-old baby. Grace died after getting her head stuck over the lowered side of her cot. A range of experts told the inquest into her death that the Bednest she'd been in, with its side part lowered, posed a serious risk. But the company chose to turn on the family, suggesting their other daughter, Pearl, just 3 years old at the time, was to blame.
It wasn't about Grace anymore, it was about protecting Pearl. And we could never talk about it to anyone because everyone, if they even planted the seed, suddenly there's no smoke without fire. Nobody else knows the full facts like we know it.
But today the coroner said Bednest needed to accept the risk the cots posed, that the family's ordeal would have been made even more harrowing by accusations that their toddler was involved, that it was particularly unpalatable as there was no evidence of that, and the lack of compassion from Bednest had been striking.
To have one child die and then to be accusing another member of your family, it's like they were trying to destroy the whole family.
After Grace's death, Bednest sent out a kit to modify the cots, demonstrated in this video. But the coroner said she was extremely worried that thousands were still in circulation unmodified, meaning infants were still at risk. Grace's mum and dad will never forgive the company for the accusations their family faced, but they can now move on.
I've tried to grieve. I felt like I haven't been able to do that because we've been trying to defend our family from the attack.
The only thing worse than losing their baby girl, having their other daughter accused of being responsible.
Well, Sarah is live at the coroner's court in Horsham now, and Sarah, some very strong words from the coroner about the manufacturers of the cot. What have Bednest had to say after this inquest?
Well, except for their barrister, there was no one from the company in the coroner's court to hear from the experts or to listen to the coroner give her verdict today. But they have given us a statement just in the last few minutes where they say they will take on board the coroner's comments. They say they give their apologies for the distress caused to the Rosemans, and they will up their efforts to get hold of all of those unmodified cots, or to reach people who own them so they can give them those modifications, something that the coroner was very concerned should happen.
Thanks, Sarah.
Okay.